What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another deck profile here on TCG University for the card game UniVersus. My name's Tam, and today I'm going to be talking about Faye under Good. Now, this Faye deck is an interesting deck. It is only playing 8 attacks. That's it. There is a small combo, a small loop that you can do where you continuously play the same attack over and over and over and over and over again. And it is so valuable inside of Faye that eventually you just win the game. So we're going to talk a little bit about that combination as we move on to the deck profile. All right, so this is Faye Valentine from the set Cowboy Bebop. There's honestly, this is my favorite character from the set. This character is so versatile in the things that she's allowed to do that it is just mind-blowing the amount of cool decks that you can play under all three of her symbols. All three of her symbols are playable just because of the wall of text that's on her. But with that wall of text comes a small hindrance of she's fairly easy to negate sometimes because you accidentally find a clause in here that says my opponent can negate a speed bonus, and even though I'm trying to add momentum, it can give speed, and so it's negated. So let's just talk about what Faye does. Faye is a character that's all based around the card on the top of your deck. I've gone into a little bit of why you should play Faye in my Best Damn Deck series. You can find out here on the channel as well. But let's just remind everybody what she does. If the top card of your deck, if the top card of your discard pile does not have a block modifier, you may add it to your momentum. If it has a 1 or a 2 block modifier, you get +2 damage. If it has a +2 or -2 damage, excuse me. If it has a 3 block modifier, you get +2 or -2 speed. If it has a 4 or higher block modifier, you may add an asset or a tech attack from your discard pile to your hand. So really versatile. The whole point here is chaos, randomness, but because Faye is such a very good gambler, she kind of changes her luck around and stacks her discard pile the way that she wants to. Let's get into a couple ways that we can do that. So starting off with the actions, this deck, because it is so reliant on this combo piece and the combo is so inherently free whenever it happens, there is a lot of defense in the deck, and I'm going to be going over the different parts of the deck and the way that this deck used them as we go. So we're playing 3 Let's Cut Loose. This card is one of the best defensive cards in the game, and this deck was running it as truly a defense card. Enhance, remove a foundation from your add a foundation from your discard pile to your hand, and then draw a card. This thing checks a 6. It's a non-block for Faye. That's a very big theme here. There's 1,000 non-blocks. So the card effects that we use have to be very good in order to help us stay alive as Faye. There's times where Faye can have 4, 5, 6, 7, 14 momentum, and it'd be totally natural just because of how many non-blocks we're playing. But Let's Cut Loose is a very good action. It lets you dig for the combo piece that you want and / or the block that's you need. So, moving on, we've got 4 Dodge, arguably one of the best actions in the game. It says, response, lose X Vitality. Before the damage step of your opponent's attack, it deals no damage. Add one of your opponent's foundations to their hand, and then you lose damage equal to half the attack rounded down, which is interesting because it only half blocks round up. So this card is another non-block that your opponent can pump the damage, pump the speed to hell, and you're just like, I'll take half. It's fine. I just got to check a 5, which there's only 8 attacks in our deck, so checking a 5 is not hard. In addition to that, there's some ways that we can tutor this up to our hand. Next defensive piece is Gateway Shuffle. This was primarily used as defense. It has enhanced this attack. It's -5 damage. But we also have enhanced remove your ranged tech or weapon, which all of our attacks have those keywords. Gets +6 damage. So it is possible that we can pump a little aggro with this if we absolutely need to. 9 times out of 10, we will not, though. It is -5 damage, is basically a half block. And then my last card, this is actually a disruption and / or game plan card, is Race Against Time. This card's really, really interesting. It says, remove after an attack is played. Remove it. Its owner may play 1 attack with the same printed difficulty as the removed card from the discard pile. No check necessary. We have to have 2 very specific cards, and I'll go ahead and bring them out now. Black Dog's Fang. We got to have 2 of them. And if we have 2 of them and we check a bunch of 6s, we will eventually win the game. And I'll explain the combo as we get into it. But sometimes I don't have 2 of these. I've got 1 of these and then another 5 difficulty attack. Well, if I've got these 2 cards and Race Against Time, I actually have these 2 cards as long as one of them's in my discard pile. I'll remove the other one from play because it doesn't necessarily matter, and then I'll play my second one. And here's how the combo works. So This normally takes a lot of setup. I need to have a ton of foundations, and my foundation base here helps me get into that game state. But the way that I play the game is I play Black Dog's Fang, and then I take the top card of my discard pile, and I put it underneath my momentum because it doesn't have a block. From here, I take in stun 1, make it resolve, all of this. Black Dog's Fang actually got an errata. This card says discard a momentum after an attack resolves. It's supposed to say after another attack resolves. So what we do is we play a Black Dog's Fang. We check, I'll use this as an example. We check a 5. From here, we commit our 1 foundation. We use Faye. We stuff this into our momentum. We then let this attack resolve and then respond with the other Black Dog's Fang in our card pool, discarding this momentum. We'll pick this one up. Play this on a 6. And as long as we can check a 5 and have the top card of our deck have a non-block, I'll add it in with Faye. And then I'll pick this one up, and then I'll add it in with Faye, and we'll pick it up, and we'll add it in with Faye, and we'll just play these 2 cards over and over and over and over and over again until eventually they've run out of high blocks or they've run out of cards. And so this card is obviously played at a 4 of. In addition to that, it has stun 1 and breaker 1 randomly. This also works if you ever want to block high, but it works even better because I'll block high, breaker 1, after their attack that they just played, after I just block with this resolves, I will respond with Black Dog's Fang, discard my momentum, and then put it back in our hand. If I have one of these and Faye Valentine and a no block on top of my discard pile, I can high block forever as long as I can pass the check. That is what matters. So moving on, we've got 2 NPYUU Distraction. This is just another copy of Faye as well as another momentum out. It has powerful 3 and Deadlock multiple 3. It's very possible that we shove like 8 cards in our momentum, right? Well, if we Black Dog's Fang and they figure out a way to play it around it, like, I don't know, something along the lines of Quan Chi's Fortress can stop this card, we will just multiple 3 out our card, and now you have to deal with 4 of these, and Faye is possibly giving it +2 damage based on the block modifier that we have. Super strong card. In addition to that, it's just a 5 diff that can be race against timed. It doesn't have a block, so it can be added in. All around, pretty okay card. And then my last attack is Spirit Sword Thrust. Spirit Sword Thrust is a momentum out. It has EX2 and it has EX2. It has Desperation 4, and you can add up to 3 face downs from your card from your staging area to your hand. There's plenty of cards in our deck that want to flip in order to gain some sort of value. Or if my opponent flips power pieces, I'll just add them back to my hand and then play them once again. As well as this thing gets 3/3 or one damage and 1 speed for each card. So in Faye, we can grab the momentum for EX, and so 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mid for 8, or yeah, something along those lines. Pretty strong. And also it doesn't have a block. Onto the foundations. A lot of these foundations, I'm going to go over the roles just a little bit whenever it comes to the cards that we have in here. So we're playing 3 alpha males. This is a game plan card. It is just add a foundation that you can normally play. So all of these, I now have 3 extra copies of whatever piece that I need. The best card being a card we're going to be saving as the last card in our deck. But yeah, this is just extra copies of things. Maybe I need to see them, and it doesn't have a block. I'm going to mention that every time. The main defensive piece of the deck is Adenian Royalty. Enhance Destroy. Your opponent's next attack gains Flash. Super easy combo is I'll blow up Adenian Royalty. It'll go to my discard pile. I'll use Faye to add this in. Then I'll block with my Black Dog's Fang. Breaker 1 them. Respond. Get rid of the Adenian Royalty. Lift this back up to my hand. So now they're under Breaker 1. Their next attack has Flash. And I've gained my momentum for free because of the Destroy ability. Very strong card. Or I'll just put these over here so you can see them both. A little bit more defense is Overly Dramatic. This card is the bane of existence of like going index. This card stops a lot of stuff just because of the way that it's worded. Because of in our game UniVersus, the word would and could and should kind of all mean the same thing. Faye could or would increase speed or decrease damage. So with Overly Dramatic, you can just flip this guy and just cancel it. Super strong ability, and there's a lot of really niche things that can stop that Overly Dramatic can stop, and so playing is not bad. Plus, he's got a solid block. Checks a 5. We need that in our deck. We're playing 4 Evening with Grin. This destroys, so once again, it doesn't have momentum. We'll add it into the Faye real quick. And then it picks up, honestly, Dodge, Let's Cut Loose, Race Against Time. All of these awesome actions that we have in order to keep playing through our turn. We're playing No Surprises. It says enhance check of 4. Your opponent discards the top card of the deck. This is just in case I get stuck with a block on top of my deck and I need to grab a momentum with Faye. I'll check a 4. You'll mill 1. Because I made my check, the top of my discard pile changed, and so I'll just rearrange it. I'll add what I need in. And there's also like a small plan B mill out thing that you can do depending on how fast your opponent draws through their deck. We're playing 3 Honky Tonk Women, excuse me. This card is just a combo piece. It's a game plan card. I need to see a very specific thing, and this will let me just add it in. This will add in Alpha Male, and the next turn I'll grab whatever piece I want, not even just the top card of my deck. Also, it changes the top card of my deck, or my top card of my discard pile for Faye's ability. Important. Triple Folktale Storyteller. This card is just purely defense. It's got a solid low block, and it drags itself down. I don't necessarily want to mill 3 every time that I play it. That's not necessarily the game plan. It's just really in here for defense. Another defense card, Cover. First Enhance, remove if you have 10 or fewer foundations, reduces attack damage to 0. Your opponent's next attack this turn gets plus X damage. X equals the printed damage of this attack. Very good whenever your opponent all ends on a missile launcher or something. You just pass. First Enhance. All right, that missile launcher doesn't do anything. Maybe your next card, your next high attack is something. Oh, I'll block with a Black Dog's Fang. All right, I'll pick it back up. This card in combination with the Denian Royalty is fairly good as long as you have the read on whatever block zone you're going to have. Hey, this one doesn't do anything, and the next one has flash, and I'll just block it before you give it to speed. We're playing Double Sense of Morals. This is once again a defense card. It just makes sure that as you are trying to defend yourself, you can keep readying stuff. And there's plenty of good cards to ready. The best one being Refuse and Let Go, which we'll get to. Also, it checks a 4, so you can change the top card of your deck with Faye. We're playing Double Bebop Blues. This card is a little bit of disruption as well as game plan. In order to make my game plan work, I can't have Faye be banged. And so Bebop Blues is exceptionally good at, this doesn't have a block, I'll shove this in my momentum. Now my Bebop Blues is live. You can't bang Faye. I will just commit and discard my momentum. It doesn't have the unique keyword, and so building 2 is exceptionally good. In addition to that, if they play 3 abilities on their character gets committed, and a lot of times that's really good whenever I'm trying to play the same attack over and over and over and over and over again. This is a really good card versus things like Akuma, as you will see. Double Way of the True Warrior. Response commit, flip after opponent plays a thing with a keyword, get rid of it. Keywords are really scary just in the game as a general. We have multiple 3s running around. We have powerful 7s, powerful 10 coming out in the next set. I don't want to deal with that. Double Poker Alice. This is another game plan card. Choose one card from my discard pile and put it on top of my deck. It's also got a really gnarly one high block because this card's only really good in Faye, and so as the 2 of us, fine. We're playing Double Impressionable. This is a disruption card. It kind of works the same way as the Way of the True Warrior of your opponent's next attack loses its keywords and gets 2 damage. So you're trading off maybe something having like stun 2 in order to give it 2 damage, and you're just going to block it anyways. And it's just the cost of commit. So I'll just use it every turn as long as I have the reads of what's going on here. We're playing overall 1-ofs. 1 Wandering Pirate. This is just an all-around. I guess you could call this like a staple card. It's just you should play this at a 1-of in every symbol that plays these, just because it commits for an extra foundation. Ooh, we'll commit Faye. It commits for an extra foundation and then readies another thing, and then on your opponent's turn, this will ready back up and then ready another thing. You just get to reuse so many foundations so often. Refusing to Let Go is just an amazing defensive piece. Enhanced commit reduces attack damage to printed -2. Very good on multiples. Printed damage on multiples is 0, so it is a -2 attack. They could have Punch and Judy the thing to heck, and then this card just shuts it down. Very good to re-ready with Sense of Morals, or I don't know, Wandering Pirate. Super good 2-card combo. And then my last card, the only off-symbol card not on good, is Tijuana Groceries. If I get Tijuana Groceries, it makes my Black Dog's Fang loop super, super easy. If I Black Dog's Fang, let's see if I can just grip to one real fast. If I Black Dog's Fang and hit another Black Dog's Fang, I check my 5, I'll commit a card and then remove 2 foundations and then ready this back up. I actually haven't lost anything. And so now this combo is actually free. But if you notice, these 2 cards don't share any symbols, so you'd have to add this in. And as I said, the best target is... it's going to be over here. Is Alpha Male. Hey, we found it. And so being able to add in Tijuana Groceries off Alpha Male, very, very strong. All right, everybody, so that was Faye under the good symbol, splashing, I guess, a little bit of chaos. If you like the content, please go out to patreon.com/TCGUniversity. This deck was incredibly fun to watch be played. If you want to see all those games a whole week early, go out to patreon.com, like I said. Subscribe at the $3 level. You'll get the deck profile as well as all the other deck profiles as well as all the matches that we played. If you don't have any bucks to toss, that's totally fine. Go out to youtube.com/TCG University a week later, and they'll be all live on the sequential days. So from all of us here at TCGU, stay learnt.